your emotional stability matched with their emotional instability has just made me value you so much more, because I'm like, just a reasonable place to land.
Put the camera on me. I'm here to do a podcast with my mom and dad.
You know, they are who they are, and they're gonna challenge your ideas of what you want your kid to be. And there's some days where I'm just like, but I know that those parts of her, she's gonna thrive as an adult.
Rye was dancing, so me and her were dancing and cutting up. Rye saw there was wine, and she goes to the guy, she's like, do you have Moscato?
Oh.
Like, she's trying to get me some wine. I was like, turn up, get you a chocolate bar. And after I was like, let's go for dinner. You know, like I just was like, oh, this is like my homie. You know, the little piece of that.
Do you think that having children has changed me?
Yeah, I do. I do think it's changed you. It may come across like I'm saying something negative. I'm not. Ooh, child. You make it, ooh, not my baby girl's fingers. It took me 9 months to grow those. Oh, it's still there. Okay, good.
Was that a close one?
That was a close one, dude.
Okay, so this episode is gonna be a little different. I'm gonna take over because Shan is working on a new book right now. Along with this being a new structure, we also tried something else new. We tried to have Ryu be a part of Shan's podcast as a guest.
Literally, Jared has given me the rule before, do not shoot with your kids.
So me and Shan are excited to show you an episode filled with love, laughter, wild moments, all about our lovely daughter, Ryu. And in the future, we do plan on making a whole episode about Zaya and how she changed us over the last 3 years. I don't know if we're gonna put her on the podcast because of judging how this one went, but who knows, we might try it. Quick sidebar, while I have you here, I actually wanted to show you something that I've been working on that's really cool. Everything in this music industry tells artists, don't do it. There's no money. There's no marketing. It's oversaturated. AI's taking over. The streaming industries are not paying out well. Yet, there are so many artists. There's over 250 million people uploading on Spotify a day. And it's not just myself. It's, you know, people who found other passions like film and been able to make money that way, like myself, or people who have a regular 9 to 5 who go to work and then on their off time, on their hobby time, they still go and record without the thoughts of like, I need this to do 1 million streams or whatever. But they do it because they love it. So I wanted to make a docuseries all about that. That's what that is. If you love that, if you love the idea of that at least, go check it out. It's a fun time.
That's it.
That's a lot of things. Well, thank you for coming on this podcast with Mommy and Daddy. What? You're nervous?
So remember when I said we tried to have Ryu be a guest on Shan's podcast? Well, it didn't really work out because first, she came on talking with this really high-pitched voice that she doesn't ever normally use. So I could already tell, like, you might be nervous. And then she said this.
I'm a little nervous.
Really? How come?
Because of all this equipment.
So, it didn't really work out. And that's okay, because Ryu is right, and she gonna do what she gonna do. But I did find it interesting and kind of entertaining. So here's a quick little montage of all the things that she said.
Daddy, do you put your equipment where we can't reach it? Because you don't want us to just like put our little fingers?
I don't want you to put your little fingers on it.
You don't want no slime on it?
Oh, definitely not. Actually, I don't even like it when you play with slime. Is that love?
What?
Taking your dirty socks?
It is love.
It's love.
Okay, I'm not mad at it.
But strangers, when they see police, they run away a lot.
There is someone I don't,
He got scared.
I don't know them.
Okay, what's your favorite game to play with Mommy and Daddy?
Monster.
You did great. You did great, Munchkin.
Now it's done?
I think so, yeah.
You want to keep going?
Yeah.
So that moment, me and Shan just looked at each other And we said, you know what? Why don't we just let Ryu play? You and I can have the conversation. So that's exactly what we did. We let Ryu go play, and me and Shan had a conversation about all the ways that we changed over the last 5 years. But before you do that, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey lovers, join me in taking a shot. Of ginger, that is, and Lord knows I need it. So the last time I partnered with Function Health, the sponsor of this episode, I was going to get my tests. I now had the results. It was definitely very illuminating for me. And if you don't know, Function Health is an incredible service that helps you track over 100 biomarkers, from heart and hormones to toxins and inflammation. They allow you to get a real picture as to what is going on inside of your body. I now know why they are backed by top health experts like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Andrew Huberman, and Dr. Jeremy London. So let's get to it. Turns out I am in good health, except I do have high cholesterol and LDL levels. My thyroid markers were higher than I expected. Also, there was some warning signs of autoimmune issues. So more leafy greens, omega-3s, B vitamins, iron in my foods, and of course, focusing on daily movement as well as de-stressing. And honestly, as much as I would have loved to have heard everything is perfect, it also did really help me to feel better and more empowered, knowing what I have to work on next. And I want you to have that same feeling of empowerment. So please, the first 1,000 people get a $100 credit towards their membership. So go to functionhealth.com/loversbyshan to claim that offer, or you can put in the code lovers100 at checkout. Do yourself a favor, own your health. And I'm gonna say it again because it's worth repeating, functionhealth.com/loversbyshan.
Thinking, this couch is not comfortable, huh?
We really didn't do the big thing when it came to their room.
The big thing.
Like, their room is a little, all in all, it's 5 years of parenting.
Yes. It's 5 long, sleepless, amazing, wonderful years.
I was talking to someone this morning who had kids, and then I was just saying about sleep, and she's like, yeah, her kid's in their 20s now. Mm-hmm. But she's like, yeah, she just was an amazing sleeper. And I'm like, I actually don't believe you. I think you forget.
You have to forget.
You have to forget.
I think that is the toughest thing about parenting is they are who they are. And they're going to challenge your ideas of what you want your kid to be or how you want them to act. And especially Rye, she's going to push that to the end. It challenges every part of you as a parent and as a person. And there's some days where I'm just like, but I know that those parts of her, she's going to thrive as an adult.
Yeah. I talk to so many parents who their kids' people-pleasing nature becomes the conflict. And there is not a pleaser of people tendency in Rye. And that is it's a gift to get to have somebody who has such a strong character and strong will. It is definitely difficult to parent that type. And it's just interesting because she literally came that way, like out the box.
Yeah, from the jump.
I remember I took her outside for the first time, and it's like, her first time in our yard. I'm like, this is your first time seeing our yard, this blue, these trees. And she was pissed because she didn't like the way her blanket was wrapped. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Don't worry about that. We'll fix that. But just appreciate the moment. And she's like, I can't. If something is bothering me, then I need this fixed or else I'm not going to be able to adjust.
Through and through. And I love it about her. And she's fearless. So it's just exhausting.
How do you think 5 years of parenting has changed us? And maybe I'm better to answer that in terms of you, and you can answer that in terms of me. How have you observed parenting change who I am, the wife that you married?
You know what's interesting is I feel like the parts of you that I knew and loved, parenting didn't change, it enhanced it. The way that you cared for me and the way that you loved me and the way that you supported and challenged me, I see those same things when you're parenting our kids. They're just more accented now. And I think that because you have Ryan's eye, the way that you love me is a little bit more gentle.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a gentler side to you. as a person?
I definitely know I'm more patient, but I feel like sometimes I started drinking when we had kids. And I think that's because I've never really seen my nerves pushed to the limit, or it's very like parenting sometimes can be like sensory overload. It makes you so animalistic. Like you don't really have time to get to the rational adult thinking part of your brain because you're existing so much in the like here and now. Like I have to focus on your safety, on your nourishment. Like you're on top of me. I'm like, there's a million. So sometimes I just don't really feel like I get to be in my feminine or in my more relaxed because I feel sometimes like this.
Well, then maybe that's why would be all the more reasons when you're loving me, you refuse to take on any of that role.
Yes, I can see that. I can predict how your emotions are going to be. Doesn't mean you can't surprise me sometimes, but it can't be like, let's roll the dice and see how Jared's going to respond to this, or I'm going to come home and let me guess what kind of mood he's in. Your emotional stability matched with their emotional instability has just made me value you so much more because I'm like, oh my gosh, like just a reasonable place to land.
It makes sense, yeah.
Finally, somebody reasonable. And I just like, I can't, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I could not date these toddlers. And there are some people who have the personalities of these toddlers. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I need me a Jared through and through.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Do you think that having children has changed me?
Yeah, I do. I do think it's changed you.
Okay. We'll stop.
Well, what do you think I'm going to say?
I have no idea because I don't think it's changed me that much. But
I think it's changed you a lot. And not in a way that's going to come. It may come across like I'm saying something negative. I'm not.
Sounds like it.
It's not that.
Already.
You're more serious.
Yeah.
But I think that goes back to when we first started dating.
Yeah.
You told me like you have to sit and view the door when we go to see somewhere because you want to see who's coming and going.
Yeah.
And there will be times where, for example, if somebody cuts me off and I'm driving for whatever reason and I start yelling and you're like, don't do that because I'm the one who's going to have to fight. So when you're with somebody who's being unpredictable or in the unpredictable world, you already felt the responsibility to protect me. And now that you've got these two small people plus a wife, sometimes I feel like that burden of I have to be aware in order to keep us safe if anything goes down can take away your boyishness. Yeah,
for sure. Especially when we're in public. Especially when we're in public. Because I don't, there's so many variables. And I care about you guys so much. And like, we often allow them to do and tote the dangerous line. We let them climb on things. We let them, push the limits of what they're capable of and be curious. And sometimes that curiosity can get them in trouble. And so, and they're not going to shy away from something that's dangerous because they think it's fun. And it's how we've been developing them. And so when we're out, I am on edge. But I also understand in the context of the parent that I am and that I want to be, of having kids who are free, who go up to strangers, who climb things, who are not so put together because those aren't things I value, that can be a challenge on you. So I'm also acknowledging the ways in which my parenting style you have had to adjust your personality to accommodate. Yeah, I mean, there's like still, I just, the way that I wrestle with it is I have my non-negotiables. There's certain things that I just will not accept. But I also am at a situation where, hey, if I'm not around and you're with mom and she lets you act this way, that's totally fine. But like, there's just certain things that you guys know when I do a certain thing with you, this is how I expect you to be. And as long as you know both with them, they're smart enough, they're bright enough that they can understand both sides. And I think the other part of it is also recognizing that like it takes the two. If we were both really relaxed, then there would be no way for them to understand and like make their own decisions. But I think that it's going to be a benefit to them, to their character.
Well, I think that you and me both have the respect for each other's instincts.
Yeah.
And so I know when your instincts kick in, sometimes I might push back, like, I think it's fine. Like, they'll be doing something and you'll try to correct. I'm like, I think it's fine. Let them do their thing.
Yeah.
And then there's times where you're like, no. And there's times where I think it's fine that they're doing their thing, and then you step in and correct. And I think that we both respect each other's override. And I've always said this about you and me. Like, our value system are freakishly aligned. Like, we actually want a lot of the same things in life and for our children's lives. So we may, like anything else, just because you value the same things doesn't mean you value going about them the same way. But that core thing is there. So I feel like that, I don't really feel like we have a lot of parenting conflicts.
No, we don't. And maybe it's not because they're so young. Maybe as they get older, it will come out more. But right now, no. And I don't even think that if that day does come up, I think we would approach it in a logical way. We'll probably disagree and talk about it and come to a conclusion after that. So I'm not really too worried about that side of parenting. The part of parenting that I am worried about after doing it for 5 years, because you only can raise the kid one time if we mess up. Because I don't believe that we're parenting like anybody in our immediate family. So that is a fear of mine sometimes.
Yeah, that's a valid fear.
What do you feel about it?
I don't have a crystal ball to go on the other side of it. I guess I know because I feel the looks. I'm in the world with them too, and so when they're being and there are other people like kind of looking like, why are you just letting your kids be? But then I also want to ask that adult, do you like your life? I was in the grocery store once, and in the grocery store, I'm letting them do their thing. You know, so time to, talk to people, ask questions, help mom. Like to me, it's a fairly safe grocery store. So I don't have to have eyes on them at all time. They're not breaking stuff. And I mean, mind you, they did climb on the counter that time, but that was because they were ordering from the butcher. So I wanted them to have that experience.
Remember that Aldic incident?
Oh yeah.
Where they broke that vase?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like, it's not a playground.
It's not a playground, but it's a Christmas store. So yeah, my kids were excited. They like Christmas. We went to go see Lion King, and there's giraffes and zebras, and Ryan and Zai are like, zebras, giraffes, Simba, oh my gosh. And I'm talking to them, I'm like, yeah, look, it's so exciting. And the person behind me was like, guys, come on. This is a kid's play based on a Disney movie starring a kid. So excuse my kids for being excited. I know that you came to review this play for the local Herald.
No,
or whatever.
God, chill.
I'm just saying. So to me, I understand that it's not conventional, but I just don't know if domesticating people to push down their desires and their natural will. At the end of the day, if we cause damage, we will repair it.
Yeah.
They do learn, and they do see that. When we did break the vase at Aldic, I had Ryu go up to the front and apologize. And she also paid for the replacement of that part. So there's an understanding of the repercussions of this, but that's one example of one time. There's been a billion times they've gone out in the world.
And been great.
And had fun and had more enjoyment, brought more enjoyment to others. Like I always say this, they approach 10 people a day. One of them is pissed off. The other 9 are so grateful that these small kids came up to them. So I don't adjust my parenting style to accommodate for the one person. I leave it to say, oh, the social proof is the 9. And it can be embarrassing. And I know how socially conscious you are and socially aware you are. So like I said, when I say to you that you've gotten more serious, I also understand the conditions that I've put you in, that
and it doesn't stem from anything. If anything, me being with you has loosened me up. I think it stems from my upbringing and my relationship to my parents, specifically my dad. and the things that they, you know, instilled into me from a young age. I was just like Rye, but my dad was so heavy on, and this might get too dark, but he was so heavy on my behavior socially, because he would like beat in my head that like most people are gonna view you as you know, wild already, so you have a higher standard to behave. And like my dad just repeated that to me heavy. I remember when I wanted to get earrings, and he was like, no, you can't have earrings because you need to show me that you can act, that you can go against the stereotype of what a young kid with earrings would have. And I'm just like, what? And I think that is bled into now. You know, while I'm raising them, that is in the back of my head. Like when we were on vacation and we would go to the breakfast thing, and like they would have no shoes, and we would be like still in our pajamas, and like I hope they're not looking at us like, look at these young, how'd they get here, you know? And that's how I feel sometimes, like, and that's where the pressure comes in, is because I feel like that I sometimes want to defy what they think of as a young couple.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not young, but you're young.
You are.
I'm not a young mom.
You're young when
I don't mind that. I don't mind it, but I'm not a young mom.
All right. Well.
Sometimes, you know, I carry the guilt because you are younger than me. When I think of the last 5 years, they've been challenging for sure, but there's like nothing else I would have rather have done with my life. And sometimes I'm like, oh, would Jared say the same? Because you are young and there's still some things that I got to experience that you didn't. We're only now at the age that I was when I got married. You're 34 now. That's the age where we both thought, should we have kids? Like, so I had already lived that life, you know, beforehand, but it's really just so beautiful to see how much you care about your family.
Yeah.
And
you know when Kai Cenat does the motivational speeches, she'll put that music under that.
well, I guess it was kind of a question. It was kind of a question.
I know what you were saying. I know. I understood.
But it was kind of a question.
There was no question.
Well, the question really is, when I think of the last 5 years of my life, I'm like, man, there's nothing else I would have rather have done.
Oh, you wanted me to say the same thing? That's what you
Well,
want.
no, I'm curious if you're looking at it like it was a hard, you know what I mean? Like,
there's
you
nothing.
gave up a lot.
There's nothing that I would have there's nothing I would have rather done. There's nothing more important. Like when I said that to Rye, the only thing that I feel like matters, yes, of course, friends and gear and moving forward and progressing and, you know, business and all those things and success and all those things, like those matter, but the only thing that really matters is the family that you create, obviously, and your relationship to the family. Are you connected to the daughters? Are you connected to your wife? And like all those things are checked. And so there's no point to life for me if I didn't secure that. So there's no regret behind it. There's no regret behind it. So and like the thought of right now starting sounds maddening. Like, I'm not starting over. Like, I'm so glad that period of my life is closer to being easy. So 5 years ago, I'm glad I wish we would have done it 8 years ago. It would have been a little further along.
Amazing dad, baby.
An amazing mama.
Is that a new A new way of defining success?
Yeah, no, I think I always like you know, as a kid, like this is important. I went and visited a friend of mine in London when we were out there, and he just had a daughter. And so she's about, I don't know, I think like 8 months or something like that. She was crawling to him while we were having a conversation, and his face like completely lit up. And I'm like, I remember looking at him while we were having a conversation and thinking like, I don't even think, and he loves music, I don't think music will make you make that face. So like this is the most important thing.
I'm so glad we made it through.
We didn't make it through yet.
I know. We still have what? 6 days left.
No, like 4 more years.
No, 5 years till she gets to 5. I thought you meant like we didn't make it to 5 years yet because she's not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think you made that. Yeah.
No, I'm very grateful for this journey. I'm grateful for this experience. There's nobody else in the world that I would have wanted to do this with. It's a crazy fact because I didn't want kids. And oftentimes I feel like I'm meeting the version of myself who didn't want kids and being like, I understand. You know, I get it. And then I'm also meeting her and being like, there are things that you don't know about the way that you'll feel that will change you in ways that are beyond your wildest dreams. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's just, I always go back to my North Star is having kids is the goal is to get them to the point at 34 years old where I sat across from you and I thought, we've got to bring kids into this world because this life is fucking rad. We have got to give somebody else a chance to experience this. It's like when you eat something so good that you want to share it with your family. Like that's the feeling I had when we wanted to have kids. And that's my only hope and joy for Ryan and Zai.
Yeah.
I just want them to love life so much. And I think that we're doing a pretty good job of setting them up for that.
You're doing a great job. Incredible job.
Oh, wait. Last question I have for you. Favorite memory from the last 5 years? Favorite ride memory?
This is one that I just think of all the time, but it's when she was a real young baby. And I don't even know why we had this because we live in California, but we had this like super fuzzy, thick, like jumper suit. And it had like a hood and it was thick. And I put her in there and it was so thick at the time she couldn't move her knees or her elbows. So she was just stuck on the counter. She was stuck on the counter like this. And then like she like looked at me with her eyes and then did like a she did like a look like at me, like look at me. And it was just a moment where I could not stop laughing. I could not stop laughing. And she knew I was laughing, but she's so young that I don't know if she knew what was going on, but she looked at me like she knew exactly what's going on. But it was funny.
Yeah, I actually know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a beautiful moment.
What about you? Yeah, some deep.
I don't think I have one at the top of my head. I can just think of the last good thing that happened is me and Rye had that day together in London where she just talked nonstop.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a hard day because keeping them safe and just cars and people and traffic, it was just a lot. But it was a hard day. But when we got back to the hotel after seeing The Lion King, the first half, because we made the full thing, I was like, oh, you had a big headache. So I was like, let's go get some medicine. I'm like, Rye, let's go. Because I didn't want to leave you with both kids when you had a headache. So I'm like, let me at least take Rye. I know that's the chatty one. So Zai will chill. And she was like, no. But she ended up coming. And she came. And we had such a blast.
Yeah.
Like, we rushed back because of you. But there was a DJ downstairs. Rye was dancing. So me and her were dancing and cutting up. Then we went to the front and trick-or-treated with the person. Went across the street. And then Rye saw there was wine. And she goes to the guy. She's like, do you have Moscato?
Oh.
Like, she's trying to get me some wine. I was like, turn up. Get you a chocolate bar. Get daddy's aspirin. Let's go back upstairs. And after I was like, let's go for dinner. You know, like I just was like, oh, this is like my homie. You know, the little piece of that.
Yeah.
And I just want more.
Yeah. And as you get older, you're going to get more of those.
I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Everyone says that. I'm going to regret saying this. I'm going to miss these days. And I'm sure there's parts of it that I'll miss. But the glimmers that I get of what the future can hold all really excite me.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. It's a better position in life to look forward to what's coming than to miss what you've had in the past. It's a better position in life to look forward to what's coming than to miss what's gone.
Yeah.
Even with you and me, I look forward to what's coming.
Yeah.
I miss a little bit of what's gone.
I think a Buddhist said it perfectly, is that don't think of the future, don't think of the past, think of right now.
That probably is the best way. Yeah. I do have to focus on that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd be too much in the future.
Which is interesting because I didn't feel like you were like that ever.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Sleepless nights.
We are talking crazy now. Let's get out of here.
So that is the end of the episode. I hope you guys found it entertaining, relatable, maybe a little funny. And like I said, we are going to do an episode about Zaya and how we changed over the last 3 years. And we're gonna try maybe attempting to have her be on the podcast. I don't know how that's gonna go, judging on how this one went, but I hope you guys, stay tuned for that. But until further ado, I'll see you guys next time.